Through the mist we rise, a force unbroken, with banners high and hearts awoken. The sound of pipes, our war is calling. Like thunderous waves, our duty is falling. Stand tall, together we fight, with courage found in every breath. We'll fight like lions, defy our death. In unity our hearts shall sing, the legacy of warriors through every reign. With battle cries we forge our fate, in fields of valor we elevate. As shadows loom, our spirits flee. Brothers in arms, we are the tree. Fearless, we take the night, with courage found in every breath. We'll fight like lions, defy our death. In unity, our hearts shall sing, the legacy of warriors through every reign. As dawn breaks, we know our name.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday Paranormal Coffee Talk. We're going to get this going for about an hour's discussion today, and our topic is going to start off with doppelgangers. I'm seeing the comments, so I want to say hello to everybody in the chat, the family. It's good to see everybody, and thank you to the moderators for being here. Urso and Corey, thank you for being here. Real Alberto, good to see you in there, my friend. Ray, good to see you. And who else we got? We've got Kyle in the house. We've got Michelle in the house. And we've got Candy in the house. All right. And anybody else that I missed, I apologize. I am very tired this morning, guys, but we're going to get into it, okay? The disclaimer is, as always, I use fair use for any and all content under the Copyright Act of 1976, under Section 107, which makes allowances for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, parody, and let's not forget the entertainment value. Also, Nighthawk High Stranger's podcast channel, not acknowledge that not all the opinions and theories mentioned during the podcast are not necessarily the opinions and views of myself, aka William Nighthawk, and Nighthawk High Stranger's podcast channel. We at Nighthawk High Stranger's YouTube channel merely want to bring the open format of discussion for the possibilities of topics happening today in the past, present, and future. Please join the Nighthawk High Stranger's YouTube channel family by subscribing and hit that like button if you would, please. We have a big problem with YouTube giving us credit for all the likes and subs, guys. So if you can always double check that, that would be greatly appreciated. Join the chat family, being respectful in the chat, and put all questions in capital letters so this blind old Indian can see them. George, good to see you in there, bro. All right, let's see. I am a little out of breath this morning, guys, so bear with me. As I said, we are getting into the subject of doppelgangers. And let me take this off of here. Okay. All right, doppelgangers. Okay. they got this new format now where I've not only got the regular landscape screen in front of me, but I've got this cell phone screen too at the same time. And it's very confusing because now you got two screens you got to look at back and forth all the time. And then you got the stuff on your right hand side on this StreamYard where you have all your stuff you got to click and respond to, and you got to go to the chat, and it's a mess. I don't know why they're doing this, but anyways, goes without saying. Eric is out hunting this morning, and I haven't really heard from him, so hopefully he's okay. Those of you that are in his area might want to give him a call and check on him to make sure, just to make sure he's okay, because he was having some problems here this past week at his place with some very unusual stuff happening, which he'll cover on his topic later today. Doppelgangers, though, that whole thing about doppelgangers, and just so you all know, I have dealt with everything, including a doppelganger at one time. But to me, it's almost like this picture here. It's almost like you're negative. You know how back in the old days when we had the film, the actual film in the cameras, and you had your roll of film you took to the place where you had it, processed and made into pictures, and they always gave you your negatives. Well, to me, that's what a doppelganger is. A doppelganger is your negative, okay? Because it goes back to my belief, and this is my belief. You all can have your own beliefs in it if you want, okay? But if we have duality souls, it would make sense that we have a good part of us and a bad part of us, okay? And sometimes those souls are separate, okay? Sometimes it comes from like what some people call the mirror world, okay? It's like that face staring back at you in the mirror when you get up in the morning and you're brushing your teeth and you're combing your hair and you're shaving your face and whatnot. It's that image, okay? Most reports of a doppelganger are pretty malevolent, okay? So, when it comes to doppelgangers, you have to cover the negative part of it because that's all they really seem to be. Most occurrences, they try to unalive you, from what I've seen and what I've only experienced myself. So, if it's trying to unalive you, then it's evil. It's your negative self. Okay. Now everybody thinks, oh, well, a doppelganger is just your twin and everything. Well, a twin is your twin. A twin is going to know what you're thinking, how to end your sentences and stuff. Even on the mind sync of knowing what you're going to wear that day or where you're going to be that day. That's how close twins are. True twins, okay? So to me, a twin is not a doppelganger, okay? A twin is just a twin. And some of us carry the same genetic traits as others because, God forbid, it'd be a boring world and everybody look alike, so we occasionally have someone that looks like us, okay? But doppelgangers are literally you're negative. You're negative, okay? They're creepy, they're dark, I don't want to use that term demonic because demonic to me has nothing to do with it, okay? This whole world is based off of the duality theory, okay? You have your light and your dark, you have your good and your bad, you have your cold and your hot, everything is duality, okay? Everything, including humanity, okay? So that being said, we have to remember that doppelgangers, when we deal with them, we're dealing with a negative entity, okay? And they're usually attached to us in some way, shape, or form through that negative realm, okay? Take, for instance, this picture here with this little girl, okay? Creeps you the hell out, okay? It creeps you out. Now, there is some cultures around the world that would classify this as, some of them would classify it as black-eyed kids, black-eyed children. Some would classify it as possibly jinn. Some would classify it as possibly alien hybrid. Some would classify it as demonic possession. Okay. What we need to really realize is that this is literally our negative energy. Okay. And this is just my opinion from dealing with these things. Okay. That when we build up our negative energy, and our negative energy builds up, and when you're standing in front of that mirror and you're getting frustrated, and all your frustrations going into that mirror, what do you think is going to happen with a mirror that's a portal? You're going to bring forth that negative part of you. Okay. I don't know if that makes sense to everybody, but that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. I'm going to go to the chat and see what you all think about it, and we'll go from there. And I see Eric is backstage, so he can come on anytime he wants. I'm trying to get to the chat, but this is really, really slow. Monica, good to see you. Okay. Starflower, good to see you. Freaky Geek, good to see Freaky Geek. I haven't seen you in a while. And I hope you're doing good. Melissa Shen Valley Girl, good to see you, my dear. Good to see you. Unreal, good to see you. And Ida, good to see you in there too. Thank you for being here. Okay, and David, thank you for being here. And of course, good old George from the UK. All right. So, I don't know. What do you think that a doppelganger could be there, Eric?
Man, there's a few different possibilities. Sorry, guys, I'm just getting out of the deer woods. I got coffee going right now. I mean, it could be something from another dimension. It could be clones. It could be something supernatural trying to take your shape. I mean, the list goes on of the possibilities that these doppelgangers could be, and it could be a little bit of everything. Honestly, I mean, let's be real about it. It honestly could get more than everybody. I'm waiting on my other deal to go up so I can put some chats up. But hey, everybody in chat. Yeah, these things sometimes they seem to be like a whisper of what it actually is. Sometimes they're pretty malevolent. You know, they're pretty evil. So is that where we're getting on the supernatural side? Is it an evil essence of yourself that is manifesting? All these are good possibilities, man. It's just I don't even know where to begin on it. Hey, Monica. Hey, Ray. Hey, Ida. Hey, Candy. Hey, Freaky. Sorry, I'm not in the chat yet. I'm still waiting on the other page to load. Someone watered Mojo and he's grown. Hey, Urso. So I don't know, man. I do know that supernatural beings that have an evil tendency to them will do things to cause fear in you. So, like the image of that little girl in the mirror, that's about the time I came in. That could be something that's trying to scare you. So, hey, Unreal, so that it can feed off your fear. Yeah, that one. That has been very well documented that was something evil that is trying to manifest, and is it taking your shape to scare you? I think it is. Hey, Michelle, I really think it is.
Now, the whole precedence of a doppelganger from what I was believing with all my interactions with the supernatural and everything and the paranormal was that it was a negative, basically a reverse of yourself, and that it was here to basically replace you as the predominant person in your world. In other words, to make the
Could
positive
be.
view more of a negative view. So,
Yeah, I mean, I can
I,
see that being a
this
possibility.
yeah, this image here depicts that pretty good too. It's literally a mirror image, and it is exactly as described, in this picture. When you're looking in the mirror and you're putting that negativity into an energized portal, which is what a mirror is, okay, no matter what anybody tells you, it is a device that can be used to transport you to a supernatural realm or another dimension. Mirrors are definitely portals, just like water is and trees can be, anything that can
Hmm.
provide energy. Okay. And you have to wonder, why do they put silver backing on glass to make a mirror? Well, what's the most valuable thing that they put in electronics other than copper wire and gold? They put silver. Okay. So that plays a big role in energizing that. So a mirror is literally going to take your negative energy and replicate you.
Hmm. Yeah, and I can see that. I mean, it's pretty well documented about mirrors being a way of generating portals. Oh, Ida, you're awesome. Thank you, sweetheart. You're so great. Um,
Awesome. Thank
you know,
you, Ida.
they have been very well documented on being not every. I think it's a certain type of mirror. If memory serves me correctly, it has to be a certain type of mirror, but can create portals. Um, it's I'm trying to remember. There was something to it, and I just can't remember. Something dealing with what was used to make the mirror is what is the best conduit for doing it. I can't remember it. I'm kind of
Well,
brain dead
a
at the
lot of
moment.
a lot of mysticism and spell casting can be done through mirrors also. So that's one thing
Hmm.
you got to consider too. Mirrors are a valuable resource when it comes to someone who is well versed in the supernatural. So just putting it out there,
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah. I've done a dive in this. It's been a while, but I've done a dive into this, and it's I'm wanting to say Mercury has something to do with the mirror, but I could be wrong. Hey, George. Yeah, yeah. I just got out of the deer woods. Sadly, my deer woods is like dead. Oddly enough, only seen two squirrels, heard one crow. That was it. I'm like, you gotta be
Something's
kidding me. What's
chasing the
going
demon
on?
out
I
of your
mean,
area, man.
yeah, I mean, my woods have been popping. I mean, I've been getting not only seeing with my own eyes, but getting crap tons of, hey, Corey, of photos on my game cam. I even got fresh scrapes and rubs by my tree stand. And I go out there and it's dead. But I've seen entities that look like me. In fact, that last paranormal investigation I did, there's a voice that came across the digital 360 that sounded like me saying something that I never said. I've heard people, hey Elaine, good to see you in here. Um, oh, that's awesome, Ray. I'm so happy for you, bro. Um, I've had people say, dude, I just ran into you 5 minutes ago. How'd you get here so quick? I was like, what are you talking about? I've been over here. He's like, no, man, I literally just seen you and said, hey, and you gaffed me off like I didn't exist. I was like, dude, you know me
Now
better than
there
that.
is
We're bros.
yeah, there is cases of Native American history all the way up into Alaska where you're dealing with a trickster spirit that can shapeshift into
Mm-hmm.
you and mimic your voice and everything
Mm-hmm.
too. So that could
Yeah.
possibly also be another cause of having these doppelgangers come through because a
Mm-hmm.
trickster
Yeah.
spirit's going to want you frustrated, going to want your anger. Like I've always said, they're going to feed off of that you're their battery. So that could be
Yeah.
a mimic or a trickster spirit taking your form and wanting to take over your life in this part of your world.
It could be. I mean, look at that entity I've been dealing with that here the last 2 winters. It only comes out in winter, but it's mimicking our voices. It takes an image of an old man. I mean, it makes knocking sounds. It mimics my dogs. And that's why I labeled that video mimic, is because that's exactly what it's doing. It's mimicking things. Um, is that
Mhm.
is that what I'm dealing? Am I dealing with a mimic? Am I dealing with something else? I mean, the list goes on of possibilities with it, but there's so many things in the supernatural realm that mimics you. I mean, the big W's known to do it. SWs are known to do it. Mimics are known. I mean, the list goes on. Spearfinger, I think, even does it. There's so many things out in them woods at night dealing with the
Yep.
supernatural that mimic you. Are they also what we're looking at is what we're calling a doppelganger? It's not a
Hey,
doppelganger,
I'll be
but it's
right
one
back.
of
I got to
these.
check on Jake.
All right. Is it one of these things that's um, doing that to scare us? I mean, the possibilities are endless there. Hey, Joanne. So it's weird. It's really weird what's out there. But that's the supernatural world. I mean, the supernatural. That's the thing that people forget. Supernatural's not bound by our laws and our rules. They ain't. They can do things that's far and beyond what we can do. Um, I had one of those mimic me. Oh, come on. I had one of those mimic me when gone, or when wife was gone. I'd hear her like she's in the back room or something. Yeah. I mean, and could that be your spirit, or could that be something mimicking her? I mean, that's all that stuff's possible. Or so. I mean, it happens. I think doppelgangers are a fey creature. Could be Jonaside. I mean, I can't say no. I really can't. There's been a few documented cases of, I think, the Fae doing it. It's not as prevalent as some of the other stuff, but they have been known to do it. Yeah. Oh, this is when she was like, oh, so yeah. I mean, I get that, right? I mean, I've had the same crapper, so yeah. I mean, that stuff is real, and that's people don't realize when you're attuned with nature, like some of us are. um, you're going to attract not only the good but the bad as well. You're going to be able to see the good as along with the bad. You're going to have dealings with the good along with the bad. It's yin and yang. I mean, a prime example of what we're dealing with out there, folks, in latent terms that you might understand is dealing with the supernatural and nature and stuff like that is literally yin and yang. You can't have one without the other. There's always going to be good, but with the good, there's always going to be bad. There's always going to be the light, and with the light, there's always going to be darkness. So, I mean, you're going to have things like this come out and deal with you. Um, I believe so, Freaky. I'm not 100% sure, but I am on the bandwagon of yes, they're supernatural. But they could be interdimensional too. They could be dimensional creatures as well. Is they challenging the same? I don't know.
Changeling.
Is challenging the same? Oh, changeling. Sorry. I'm not slept very good. My knees hurting me real bad. My gout's bad. I got out in the woods late too. Changeling is a is part of the Fae. A changeling is when like a Fae has a not worthy offspring, and they want to kidnap a human offspring. They'll make that offspring look like that baby and swap them out. That'd be your changeling.
Not
Whatever
going to
is
swap
known, you can
humans
see
out.
it. And no, I'm going to have to check on my coffee here in a minute. I just started coffee before I got backstage.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Corey says my daughter are getting grounded, walking barefoot in the grass. Hell yeah, bro. So, yeah. Then started freaking out because I wasn't freaking out. Yeah, and that's the thing. You guys have heard my stories of what I've dealt with the last 2 winters here. I mean, I've documented it happens. I mean, I've caught it mimicking my dogs once, and that was when the first reaction I had with these things. These things are going on all the time. There's a point now in the wintertime we don't go outside very much unless we have to if it's night, because That's when it's coming. It comes in winter at night.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what it is, I don't
Exactly.
know. With what we got going on up the road from me at Moon Valley, I mean, the list is on what I had happen the other night. I'm going to talk about later on tonight. It the list is it's possibilities. Can you tell us a little of what you experienced? What is involved? So, whatever is messing with us in the wintertime, it's a winter spirit. It's definitely a winter spirit because it only comes in winter. Which alleviates that down a little bit. Because as far as I know, a mimic will actually come all year round. Big W comes once a year. But can it? What was the other thing we was thinking? It was not a mimic, not a big W. What was the other possibility? Deck on it. I can't remember what it was called. But you know, I'm on the fence that what's happening just up the road from where I live at is a big W. I think a presence of a big W is in the area. Now that I've kind of snuck my nose in that area a little bit and asked some questions, is that
No,
what's messing with me? I don't know. I really don't. What's
no.
happened the other night?
I gotta differ
Mm,
with you on that, bro. I'm sorry, but
mm,
and anybody that thinks it's a walker, a skinwalker, or a W or a Wendigo, um, those those are those are possessions, okay, of the human body.
mhm,
You're not going to
yeah,
get something that what people are seeing that are they're describing in the woods that they think is a Wendigo is not a Wendigo. It is not a Wendigo, guys. A Wendigo is a possession. It's like a demonic possession
right.
that makes the
Hmm.
human have an
Hmm.
insatiable appetite for human flesh. Okay,
Right.
that's what it
And what's
is.
going on
It
up the
is
road?
not a
What's
cryptid.
going?
Okay,
No, it's supernatural, 100%.
so
Yeah, and like I said, that's what's going
exactly.
on right up the road from me.
Yep. I just want everybody to
Yeah,
know that those things are
yeah,
not cryptids. Okay, and
no, no.
it's in today's descriptions and stuff. Everybody wants to label everything a skinwalker or a Wendigo, and I'm sorry, those are demonic possessions, is what they are. They're trickster
Yeah,
spirits that take over a human's body and transform their body into a
mhm,
ravaging demonic type entity. Okay, an evil
yeah,
being.
and,
It is.
and
It's not a 10-foot tall cryptid stomping around in the woods with a deer antler head.
no,
Okay, I'm sorry,
no.
it's not. Okay, it's not.
Mhm. No, I mean, and that's what's going on up in Moon Valley. There's cannibalism like crazy going on in Moon Valley. It's still, from what I've basically been told, after I was told to keep my nose out of it, is it's still going on, and there's high-ranking people involved. But that was the if you look up the Dallas County cannibals and you look on what's going on, that's all Moon Valley. So, and that's just literally right up the road from where I'm at. Right up the road from where I'm at. That's why it's got me. I can't leave that off the
And
table as a
the
possibility because of
melon.
what's going on there. Yeah.
All right, and
Sorry. Go
and
ahead.
melon heads were described as cannibalistic, possibly too. So
Hmm. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. So I mean, I'm looking at this from multiple different avenues. It's just with all the weird stuff going on, it really leads towards one way versus the other. But until I get the facts, I don't know. I can just tell you this is my feeling on it. It has a extremely evil and negative vibe of the place. I mean, it is so heavy. I mean, it almost like it wants to take your breath away. The evil vibe that comes from this place. I mean, it's bad. It is really, really
mhm,
bad. And it used to not be
yeah,
that way. Now the problem is once you get rid of that, whatever it is causing that negative energy in that world. That there's a certain organization that's up there now. which seems to have a lot to do with this. It seems like it. Um, it's going to take a long time to get that negativity back out of there again. Once negativity roots in, it's hard to get the negativity out. It takes a long time, a very long
What's
time
that
to get that
video I
negativity out.
saw? I saw a video late last night after the show that we did last night of this group of guys driving around in this open field with this huge bundle of sage on strapped to their vehicles, smudging the whole area.
You always got to do that, man.
I about died
You might
laughing
need
when
a,
I saw that.
it sadly is in that. Hey, Camel Dad, it up there in that area. Oh man, it'll take it'd probably take 50, 60, 18-wheeler loads of sage and cedar and juniper and all that to cleanse that place. And that might, it might take more than one trip. I'm telling you, man, if
Yeah.
you ever step foot in
Yeah,
that area,
sure.
you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, you really, really are going to know what I'm talking about. Hey, Starflyer. It's man, and it's weird because it feels like it's leaching down, and it will expand. If negativity is not stopped, it will expand. So that's why one of my theories of what's been going on here the last couple of years, and now it seems to keep getting picked up more and more and more, is because that negativity is expanding. So, hey, Jessica, I can say hi now. I thought you was in the chat earlier. I misread something. But yeah, I mean, that stuff goes, it happens. Anybody's been to an area like that knows exactly what I'm talking about. And it can't, I don't have to be your backyard. I've experienced same type of stuff all over the world.
Well, and the
Negativity, I
other
don't know
thing you got
why
to
it is.
remember too, yeah, the other thing you got to remember too with your property, especially in that area, God knows what kind of burial grounds or sacred Native American grounds you're dealing with. So, it's like
Right.
I told Jessica all those months ago, it's not a known fact, and we don't talk about it being indigenous and being medicine people. But you know what? We protect our own and we protect the land. Okay. And that's why a lot of us Native people, our indigenous people, have a relationship with Sasquatch and Bigfoot. Okay. We have an understanding. Okay. Because we all know we're connected to the earth. Okay. And we all gather medicine from the earth. Okay. Bigfoot and Native people. Okay. And, and it's like I've always said, at one time, they used to come down off the ridge lines and trade with us and basically, spend the day with us once a year and interact with us. And we'd have wrestling matches and stuff. Our young warriors would wrestle them and, until the tragic accident happened. And, people just don't understand that they are more than just some dumb ape in the mountains. Okay. They're more than just some dumb ape walking around out there in the middle of the night looking for, chicken coops and, stuff to steal to get by. Okay. They're more than that. Okay. They are literally, as far as I'm concerned, a lost tribe. Now, is there some breeds of Bigfoot that aren't, more human than they are animal? Yes. They're called gugways. Okay, they're called the apes coming out of the big boys and big girls coming out of the Alaskan Yukon area, that are said to be 10 to even 15 feet tall in some cases. They're beasts. Okay, of course they're going to be the dominant predator in the woods. Okay, if they're around you.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the ones that I have dealt with are usually around 9-10 feet tall maximum. Okay, and they're more family oriented and protective of their family and the environment than they are anything. A lot of the stuff that people see in the woods that they claim is wood structures and stuff built by them, some of it is, rock stacking. I mean, all kinds of different things out there. But you need to be able to discern the difference between what they're doing and what they're not doing. Only Native people know that.
Yeah. Well, and look at it this way. We kind of talked about this last night. You're one of the few that I've actually told what happened the other night. Um, and I told
Mm-hmm.
you, I think that family group that I've been living with for 33 years is probably what's protecting me. Is that why that level
Exactly.
of negativity hasn't reached me as deep as it has here, considering what's leaching out from that area? I think so.
Yep.
I do. The more I think about it, whatever that was that I was talking about next to my driveway, I don't think that's what was warning me to go inside. I think it was something else. But I'll talk more about that tonight on tonight's show. But I'm a firm believer that if you get a good relationship with the Shia Tonka, even the dogmen in this area, I believe they become your
Yep.
protectors if you've proven yourself worthy. I am a firm believer in that, and I don't care
And
if
and
anybody
and
thinks I'm a quack, a joke, or
no,
whatever. I don't give a
and
damn. I'm a
and
firm
that's
believer in
that's exactly it. But what people have to understand too, when they're dealing with these type of beings, you're
that. Hmm.
dealing with something that is connected to the earth. You're dealing with something that
Yeah,
draws energies off the earth, just like the native people used to do. Okay, and still do. Some of us
yeah.
still do today. We do. Okay,
Hmm.
so we have that sacred connection to some of these, these Bigfoot out there. And not all of
Hmm.
them are going to be receptive, but you know what? A good majority of the regular non-aggressive Bigfoot out there, the type that I describe as
Mm.
being 9 foot tall and almost like a half human, half ape hybrid. They're intelligent, they're loving, they're caring, they're defensive of their family and their friends.
Mhm.
If they befriend
Mhm.
you and they gift you, gift them back. Don't give them, don't go out with a freaking, bunch of bacon and fry it up and give it to them. I'm not saying that, but they like things. They like feathers. They like bells. They like shiny objects. They like things that they can make things out of. Okay. Um,
Yep.
there's some cases of them even wanting like marbles and stuff like that, or beads, old beads. You put a handful of beads out for them, and they're going to come back and probably make you something out of it, with something out of the wood line where they live. Okay, this is not a dumb ape. This is not some
No.
dumb form of wildlife out there. They are protective. Okay, and there
Mhm.
are some, because I've always been told by my elders and from my experiences, that there are four distinctive types. Okay, and when you're dealing with the one type that's family oriented, you're dealing with the more of less aggressive type. Okay, but there are types out there that are going to be aggressive because of the environment they're in.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
the people just can't seem to understand that. They really don't.
Yeah. You know, so when I lost that turkey feather in my cowboy hat that my little brother, my baby brother gave me, that hurt me. I broke my heart. I mean, my little brother gave me that from a turkey he shot. I mean, I wore that in my cowboy hat with
Hmm.
pride, and I lost it when I was mowing. And I was out in my field mowing, and I'd done been by this spot twice, and I come back around, and there's another turkey feather right where that was a week after I lost my turkey feather. And you can feel,
Hmm.
I know you could sense it in me. I mean, I was a little upset and hurt because I lost that feather that my little baby brother gave me.
Hmm.
Um, I can't prove it. I mean, it could very well be the fake, could have been something else. But whenever I started making my third pass around there was another turkey feather sitting right there where I just mowed.
Exactly.
Was
Exactly.
that
And
them
that's what
gifting to me saying,
they
man,
do. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's what they do when they are in a place and they know that somebody has good intentions. And this is why I've always
mhm,
said from the beginning, when you're going out into the woods and you want to be some big cryptid investigator, go out in a good way. Don't go out with an
yeah,
attitude, guns ablazing, guns to the hilt, with a small army with you. Okay, you don't need to. Okay, unless there's an aggressive nature in that area, unless there's a predator in that area that is violent. Okay, but if you're dealing with something that hasn't harmed anybody's animals, hasn't harmed anybody's, anybody's property in any way, shape, or form. Go in there in a good way, you know. And a lot of people, they just can't comprehend that. They really can't. These beings have been here a very long time, and it's like I've always said, the way we are all, it's like Chief Seattle said, we're all connected in the web of life, and they know that. They know just as much about the ancient teachings as indigenous people as I do. Okay.
They're all part of the great circle, the same as you and I. They are a part of the great circle. People forget that too. I mean, they are part of the same ripple effect that we are a part of. So,
exactly,
guys, I'm going to have to step out for a second. I need to grab my coffee.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be right back. I'm tired, so I need my coffee. I'll be right
Camo
back.
Dad, good to see you. Daryl, good to see you in the chat too, bro. Good to see you. Paranormal Papa Investigations, good to see you. All right. I know there's some people in the chat that I missed. I've got Jacob in my arms. Sorry, guys. He's being a snuggler today. He doesn't want to be let down. So, isn't that right? Huh? Yeah. Okay. No, it's not pre-recorded, Marcy. It's not pre-recorded. It's just Eric has had a long morning and I've had a long night. So making bacon pancakes, huh? Anyways, getting back to the whole doppelganger thing, from my experience, doppelgangers are just your negative energy. And based on the duality of the world, it's the same thing as dealing with the cryptid world. You're going to have your good and your bad. So your negative ones and your good ones. Everything in this world, in this environment, is based off of duality. And that pretty much sums it up in a nutshell. I mean, if you actually study duality, you'll understand the meaning behind it and why there's so much negativity in the world. Negativity just promotes negativity. It's a magnet. That's all it is. And when people get frustrated, what happens? Bad things happen. Okay. And that's all it really is, But when you're dealing with cryptids, you got to understand, when you're dealing with, especially with cryptids that you're not sure that are supernaturally attached or are just regular flesh and blood cryptids. And there is a way to tell the difference. It takes some training and it takes some time, but there is a way. Okay. But when you're dealing with a cryptid that is aggressive and stuff, odds are you're dealing with something that's literally had to fight for its own survival in the environment that you're experiencing it in. Fighting for food all the time, hunger. I mean, just think what hunger does to the human. It probably multiply that by 20 times for a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot or a Gugway, any of them, you're going to have more aggression, stronger aggression. Okay. So it makes sense, that you're going to come across them every now and then. A lot of cases when hunters encounter them and it's aggressive towards a hunter, the reason they're aggressive towards a hunter is because that hunter is probably taking away their food source. You have to consider all this when you factor it in. Okay. You just can't label it as being, an aggressive thing just because it's a bully, or wants to be mean. Cryptids are still a mystery. Okay. Some of us have more of an understanding than most, being, indigenous, but because we've been dealing with this kind of stuff for a very long time. And it's not like these things were just thrown here, in the last 100 years. Okay. They weren't dropped off in a spaceship. Okay. So,
Hey, Caleb, how you doing, buddy? I hope you're feeling better.
exactly, Corey. Yeah, Caleb, it's good to see you in the chat, man. Hope you're doing good.
So, yeah, I mean, and that's, how many times, brother, have we said when you're dealing with Shiai Tonka is you always go with a pure heart, good intentions, and positivity.
Exactly.
I talked to the family group out here. Back when they used to let me know they were in their area before they started being here full time. When they'd go sit there and I'd go leave for work in the morning, I get the whoop whoop whoop. I'll be like, "Hey guys, how's it going? I'm glad to see you. Hey Tanya, I'm going to work. I'll catch you guys later." I talk to them just like they're you and me, and that's something I think is a very big problem with researchers is they look at them as an animal. They're not an animal. They're not.
Right.
They're called Shiai Tonka for a reason. Elder Big Brother for a reason. They were here before we are. We are all connected. We are genetically almost identical. We are the same.
Well, science always has a way of labeling things, and it's like the old routine of of when you're an angry kid and you're being pestered by a fly, and you grab the fly and you rip the wings off of the fly, and then it hops around on the table because it can't fly, and you kill it because it scares the shit out of you because it can't fly away because it's hopping everywhere. Well, you created it. Okay. The human that tore the wings off of that fly created that mutant, that fly that was unable to fly away. Okay. So the same principle is given when humans encounter cryptids. Okay.
Yeah.
You give them room, you give them distance, you give them respect. Okay. And if you feel that they're not aggressive, then you can try to interact with them. If you can feel the aggression in them, and believe me, you will, if they don't want you there, they will chase you out of there. Okay. In some very rare cases, they would probably unalive you, but it would have to be very, very rare and very, very serious for them to want to unalive you. Okay. But it's been my encounters for over 60 years that dealing with this subject is like dealing with, it's like training a domesticated pet. Okay. It's literally like that. Okay. You have to nurture it. You have to understand where it's coming from. Okay. It's going to tell you signs of it's going to be hungry, or if it's not feeling well, or if it's injured, just like any wildlife. Okay. And how many videos out there have you all seen of people rescuing baby raccoons or baby skunks or this, that, and the other thing, red, foxes and stuff, on social media? You see these videos all the time. Some of them are AI and some of them aren't, but it's the same principle though. When you go at it in a good way with them, you're going to get a good reaction. If you don't, then you did something wrong, and you have to question yourself. Well, what did I do wrong then? You have to. So
I got a special request from Unreal. Let me get back up to it. Just for you, buddy. I'm a ha ha ha. There you go, buddy.
Oh, Unreal.
I needed that this morning, man. It was kind of a miserable morning. I got up at 5:30 this morning, was going to go out in the woods, and man, my gout flared up in my big toe. My knee was freaking killing me. So, I started popping some meds, got the feeling where, hey, I could put some weight on it. So I went out in the woods. It's late. It's daylight. But, I mean, it's not the first time I've done that and harvested a deer. Squeal like a pig for me.
All right.
But
keep this PG,
but you know,
guys.
so, it was kind of depressing not seeing nothing, but I mean, it happens. It's part of it. It's a part of it.
Something
I
is
still got
definitely,
a couple more days to go.
Yeah, but something is definitely scaring away the game in your area, the prey animal.
Yeah, I got a feeling it's what I encountered the other night. I really do. I could be wrong.
Save that for your discussion on your show. That way they have, a reason to be there. But as far as I'm concerned, there's just certain ways to address when you're dealing with a cryptid, okay, and certain ways you can go about dealing with it. And the more aggressive you are, what do you think is going to happen when something's 2, 3, 4, 5 times the size of you, okay, and is smart enough to survive out there in the harsh weather and stuff, with other predators, and still be able to deal with you and to hide from you. I mean, you're dealing with something that's far more adept at being intimidating than you are. So look at it that way.
Think of it. Think of it this way. The best way to probably describe that, folks, is you're trying to piss off something. Think of Chewbacca in Star Wars and what he can do to a human. That's literally what Bigfoot can do to you.
Yeah. Yep. And then some.
Thanks, George. Unreal.
Don't take George's hat off. That's for sure.
Hey, I'm blind. It's bald. I'm blind. The light. It's a bright light.
Now we know where those glowing orbs come from.
Yeah, and George took his hat off. George of the jungle, look out for that tree. But I mean, seriously, I mean the theory is that's where George Lucas got the idea of the Wookiees was a Bigfoot encounter. I can't say yes, I can't say no. That is one of the things that's out there.
Yeah.
But Wookiees are known for literally tearing limbs off with little effort, and these things can do that. I mean, seriously. I like to think I'm a big bad Marine, but even I'm going to look at one of those, and go, oh crap, this is going to suck. But I'm a screamer, so I'm going to go screaming. Yeah. What else can you do? It's just,
it's gonna suck having to rename you Matt because you got no arms and no legs.
No kidding. Boar's out there trying to take the chicken's food away from him. I can see you. You're not invisible. Yeah, I'll give him diabetes, that's for sure. I don't know if they want to eat me. I got too much fat on me. I'd be too grizzly. But no, it's oh, hell yeah. Give him a little seasoning or so. That's funny. That's funny, unreal. Lucas said Chewbacca was inspired by his husky Twasquint, whatever that is, everywhere with him. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I don't know. I always thought when I looked upon Chewies, that's a Bigfoot. That's like a skinny version of Bigfoot.
Well, I
The
mean,
Wookiees are
when
Bigfoot
you
that
think
got on.
about it, what looks like, what looks like a Bigfoot, then
Yeah,
Chewy. So
yeah, yeah. Oh, Chewy was a Bigfoot that got on Slim Fast.
but that's the small ones. Everybody says, oh yeah, it was 8 feet tall, it was 9 feet tall.
Mm,
When you're standing there, and my second encounter, I was literally probably no more than 30 feet from the biggest one I've ever seen in my life.
mm,
That was the one that threw the branch at my dirt bike and hit the front spokes and had me wreck my
mm-hmm.
dirt bike and in the wood line.
Because you
And
interrupted their hunting.
exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
when you're staring at something that big, especially when you're a child, 12, 13 years old, um, the only thing you can rationalize it to is something like a Chewbacca, but
Mm-hmm.
much built, much more powerful. I mean, the adult
Yeah.
ones, the alphas that are in it, the alpha males especially, are brutes. Okay, they're the family protector. And it's like I've always tried to tell people, when you're dealing with a group of them, you're not dealing with the alpha right away. The alpha's hanging out in the back, just like the wolf pack does, looking over the whole group to make sure everybody in the group is safe. Okay, that's where the alpha's at. He's not anywhere near the front. So the aggressive ones that you're dealing with are going to be the elderly ones that know that you're afraid of aggressive big things, okay? Because they're old enough and experienced enough dealing with humans that they know how to scare you, okay, and frighten you off. But at the same time, they're also smart enough to know that emotions, when you're looking through a hunting rifle scope and you're staring at their face, they're also smart enough to realize, the older ones, that facial expressions do a lot too. Now, that's not
Mm-hmm.
some dumb ape, okay? That is not some dumb ape. That is a very, very sophisticated, well thinking being, okay? So, you have to consider, that when you're dealing with a family unit or a tribal unit of Bigfoot or Sasquatch, you're dealing with a certain protocol, a certain way that they confront humans that are in their way. And usually it's going to be the older ones, the more experienced ones first. Then you're going to have the betas and stuff behind them. Okay, the second in line to the alpha. Then you're going to have the young, the adolescent, and the young ones in there, and then in the back of the pack, you're going to have that big old alpha. Okay, and he's going to be overseeing the whole family unit, making sure everyone is safe and secure, and no harm comes to them. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
reports you hear of when you're experiencing one and it's aggressive towards you and it bluff charges you, they always say, oh, well, there was another one coming running in. You could hear it from a distance coming and running. Well, that would be the alpha, because what you're experiencing is not the alpha. Okay, plain and simple. The alpha is going to be coming and running in like a freight train to protect his
Yeah.
family.
I mean, when we got beef with another person, and we're trying to look like the bigger dude to get them to back down, what do? We puff up. We strut our stuff. Bigfoot does the same thing. And
Yep.
you always got that one man in the group. He's the top dog. He's the fighter of the group, and everybody else stands behind him. Bigfoot does the same thing.
Yep.
They're more like us than what people realize. They're
Yep.
way more like us than what people realize. When we get mad or want to scare something off, what we do? We have a tendency to throw things. What does Bigfoot do? He has a tendency to throw things. I mean, if you actually stop and study the stuff they do compared to what we do, It's the same. We do the same thing. Yeah, peacocking.
Well, yeah, peacocking.
Yeah,
Well, no, that's a good way to describe it too.
yeah, exactly.
Um, that's a good way to describe it as peacocking. It's a way of, it's like when that male turkey puts out his feathers to make himself look big and bad, during the whole courtship thing,
Mating.
or anything
Yeah.
in wildlife that during mating season, they're going to make themselves look bigger and badder and more prominent than the other males, and that's exactly what the same thing was going to be with Bigfoot. Okay. But the thing with Bigfoot is they're battle ready. Okay. Those alphas are battle ready. And you haven't experienced anything aggressive wise, not even a Kodiak bear, a grizzly bear, or anything, a polar bear. You haven't experienced anything violent wise until you've experienced a 9 to 10 foot tall Bigfoot that is completely pissed off and wants to rip you apart. Okay. And occasionally it does happen because you pissed them off.
Yep. Thinking about it this way too, everything in nature, when it's trying to scare off a predator or a threat, it makes itself look bigger and meaner. Everything in nature does that.
Sorry, I got to turn my coffee pot off.
It's all good. I'm finally glad I got me some, but that's what they do. They try to make noises. They try to look menacing and mean and threatening, and they look bigger and stronger. We do it too. We just do it subconsciously, but we do it too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point, Corey. Yeah, I mean, it's like Hulk. Hulk smash. And they're like Bigfoot smash. Yeah, they're going to do that. Beauty God. I mean,
the first one that I experienced was like that. This one here, and I think that it was a juvenile that was actually teaching the young one how to play in a tree because its arms were up in a tree. And it was that size. Okay. So, yes, it was every bit of 8 feet tall at least. Okay. Maybe even 9, but it was still smaller than the second one I saw. And I guarantee the second one I saw was the alpha. Okay. Guaranteed, because it was a beast. It was twice as wide, probably at least a foot taller, and just massive. Okay. Literally massive. I've got, and I can thank David Lester for these. So, but this isn't the first time I showed it, but this was the size of the second one compared to that first one. Okay.
Yeah. Oops, I'm going to get George's comment. There we go.
So, I mean, when you're dealing with something that is just literally makes you look like you are a hobbit from the Lord of the Rings, you have no idea how it's gonna turn out. You really don't, unless you go at it in a good way. You have to go at it in a good way. You have to go with it, clear your mind. Don't. In fact, it's best to just empty your mind completely. Ground yourself. Interact. I'll leave tobacco offerings, leave feathers, as offerings to even, you don't even have to know that there's a Bigfoot there, because they're going to know if you gift something. Okay. They're going to know. That's how connected to the environment they are. So, you have to remember that too. They're out there 24/7, 365. So they're going to be more connected to the environment than humanity is. Given. Definitely a given.
Hey, Alaska. I'm not sure I could pop that up there, but Alaska has a comment there. That's a different description from what I've heard on that. That's interesting. Of course, I ain't been to Alaska, so.
Yeah. I've been to Alaska once when I was in the military, but I've never experienced them up there, and I'm kind of glad for that. But that's the first time I've heard of them smelling like ass. Usually it's wet dog and roadkill description. Some
Yep.
instances it
9
could be
rotten
even
meat.
be like what do they call like a sulfur type of a smell too. Rotten eggs and
Yeah.
roadkill. So, but yeah, it's
I wonder why they smell like that there. I wonder what the difference is. Oh, you meant us. Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you. We smell like ass and cheese.
well, it's better than looking like ass.
How do you know how I smell like? I'm the only one here. Are you spying on me? Are you spying on me? I gotta be careful, Alaska. If people spying on me. Yeah, no worries, Alaska. Um, apparently I smell pretty good. My dog's on my chest, though. Back up. What am I going to do?
No, definitely worries because
uh,
I'm getting ready to.
Somebody description Bigfoot and Dogman being big and
What's
tall,
my
yet
one
dog
rule?
maybe 6.5.
What's my one rule in the chat?
Be respectful.
My one
I
rule in
forgot.
the chat is to be respectful. So if you can't be respectful, get the hell out of the fucking chat.
We got 2 things going, Scott. I'm sorry. I didn't see you say hi on the other one. I'm not seeing it, so I apologize, bud. Smell of vision. Okay, so apparently you got 2 things going on at one time because Marcy and Scott both have had issues with it. So I don't know what's going on there. But let me get this back up here. Hold on one second, bro. You have
Shouldn't be anything
2
going on.
different channels open.
Well, yeah, we got YouTube and we got Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not seeing no Facebook comments on here. Usually we get 1 or 2.
They've got this. StreamYard has got this all screwed up.
Now, I know you got 2 screens going up right now because you got the one to here and then the one over to my left. It's showing the same image. So I wonder if that has
Yeah,
something to do
one
with it.
is for cell phone. One is for cell phone, and one is for regular like TV screen. So they have to click on which one they want to watch it in. So
Okay, he says both of them are on YouTube. It's just 4. You ain't got to be that way. It's just 4. Okay, yeah, everybody's saying you got 2 on YouTube right now. Oh, I didn't know that. I've seen the one. Of course, that's the only one I clicked on. Is one I saw.
One's landscape, and the other is cell phone style. That's why. That's the new program that
that's that new.
StreamYard is doing.
Yeah.
That's the new
No,
program.
thank you, Scott. I appreciate
it.
Okay.
So
yeah, but
it
no,
just gives people that have a cell phone an option to actually have the whole screen on their cell phone instead of having partial screen on it. Is all it is. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense, right? I forgot all about that new Mars thing that StreamYard did. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense now. Okay. Thanks for letting us know, Scott and Marcy and everybody else or so. Appreciate that, guys. So that is okay. That makes sense now. Okay. That's why I'm seeing 2 screens. When I was backstage, I was like, what the hell's going on here? I think it's more fun to jump in puddles. We got puddles going on right now, man. Heading back to the other chat. Okay, Tanya. Oh, Tanya's got like a little cell phone picture next to her. Does that pop up on there? No, it don't pop up on there. It's only on our deal. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Must mean she's watching from the cell phone version. Yeah, she's the only one
Mm-hmm.
I see a little cell phone symbol next to.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's where I don't know. They must have had a lot of complaints about not being able to view the entire visual
Yeah.
spectrum of the shows on cell phones. So they come up
See,
with
now
this split format. So
yeah, yours it's off of yours now, Tanya. So you jumped around, and whatever you jumped off of, it's now your little symbol's not on there. DA's having that issue with 2 live shows at once. Oh, we'll have to keep an eye on mine tonight. Then I use the same platform as DA, unless he changed his. Yeah. See, now Michelle's got a little symbol. She's on her cell phone, and she's got a little cell phone symbol by hers now.
mhm.
I don't know where Roxanne is. I came in late. I was in the woods deer hunting. I came in late, so I don't know where Roxanne is right now. Unreal.
Probably misplaced her chompers. Anyways, it is now 1:11, which is a good time to end this. I'm getting tired anyways. I'll let everybody know tomorrow if we're going to have a show tomorrow or not later on today. Depends on how I feel. I have not been doing very good since last night. So, other than that, I do want to say that those of you that know David Lester in the chat, David is going to come on as one of my co-hosts for a new podcast coming up that is strictly dedicated to wildlife encounters. Okay. And our first podcast is probably going to be, we might even do it live. So I was thinking of doing it pre-recorded, but it's too hard to upload stuff from StreamYard to YouTube if you're recording it under video. So I'm thinking of just going ahead and doing a live. But it's going to be about the brown bear attacks in Japan. So a lot of people don't know that that's been going on, and it's a very, very, it's going to be a good podcast. It'll be about an hour long. And then the next one will probably be ocean life, and then the one after that's going to be big cat attacks in the United States. So going to get a little bit more traditional with the wildlife. We're not getting away from the cryptids. That's always going to be a part of this channel. We're not getting away from the paranormal. That's always going to be a part of this channel. The supernatural as well. I'm just want to do something to where at least once a month or twice a month we can do a show about just wildlife attacks and stuff, and like the attacks of shark attacks, aggressive sea life, aggressive bears, all kinds of different things. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Okay. Other than that, we still have our Into the Red Rabbit Hole, which we did last night, and we'll do every Friday night. I will be bringing back Monsters, Midnight Monsters, once a month at least. So that'll be done, around 11:59 p.m. Eastern, right around midnight, probably on a Wednesday night. We'll see. We'll have to pick out a good night during the week that we can do that. But that's going to be the show where we talk about the vampires, the werewolves, the you name it. Okay, any type of monster you can think of. Okay, except Godzilla. Sorry, I'm not big into the Godzilla thing right now. So,
Go,
why don't you go ahead and explain a little bit about what you got going on today, okay, in your show, and we'll call it an end.
Tonight on the Bizarre and the Unknown, we have the Saturday show called Campfire Chats with Eric and Guest, where I'll be revealing a certain little interesting thing that happened to me the other night. kind of hinted a little bit on last night's show, hinted a little bit on tonight's show. I talked to William about it yesterday backstage because it really, it's got me troubled. It's got me troubled. So we're going to talk about that. Of course, hearing your guys' encounters. That's what that show is all about. I would love hearing your guys' encounters. So come in. If you want to come on live, I'll bring you on live. If you just want to talk about it in chat, we'll talk about it in chat. I love hearing encounters. And that's what Campfire Chats with Eric and Guest is all about. It's a safe place for you to come to and share your encounters, regardless of if we agree on it or not. That don't matter. That don't make you right, me. Me. That Allison, thank you for becoming a new member.
Thank you, Allison.
It's just we had different experiences, and you're a sweetheart. So that's what's going on. Tomorrow on the Bizarre and the Unknown show, we are going to pick up where we left off on a creature of folklore from each state. And we're going to be picking up in Iowa. That's where we left off last week was Iowa. And we'll do that until we get through the 50 states.
You're going to talk about that cryptid called the Scarecrow in Iowa, huh?
Let's see. Hold on. I'll give you guys a teaser for tomorrow's show. If this thing will work for me. What comes up for? Well, come on, work with me, daggone it. Iowa is going to be the Van Meter Monster.
Yeah.
And I've got Kansas, the Sinkhole Sam, Kentucky, the Kelly Little Green Man, Louisiana, the Rougarou, Maine, Spectre Moose. So, I mean, these a lot of these things is stuff I haven't even heard of before. So we're going to be talking a little bit of that, diving into it, learning stuff with me that I don't know. We learned some stuff last week. We'll learn some more stuff this week. We'll kind of look into it. We already talked about the so I can't talk about that no more. But I just love saying that.
Oh my God.
It makes me giggle, man. It makes my fluff jiggle when I giggle. So I like to giggle.
That is too funny. Oh my God. All right, guys. Well, we love you all in the chat. Thank you all for being kind in the chat. Thank you to Allison for joining the family. That means a lot. What do we always say at the end of this podcast every day? Question everything, guys. You have that right. Question everything.
Peace, love, and blessings, everyone.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you. I'll let you all know in the morning if we're going to have a show. Okay. Depends on how I feel. Okay. Otherwise, I'll see everybody on Eric's show today. So take care, everybody.
I'll be in the Deerwoods again tomorrow morning, but just let me know if I got to come out early. I'll come out early.
All right, bro. All right. Take care, everybody. God bless.
Through the mist we rise, a force unbroken, with banners high and hearts awoken. The sound of pipes, our war is calling. Like thunderous waves, our duty is falling. Stand tall, together we fight, with courage found in every breath. We'll fight like lions, defy our death. In unity our hearts shall sing the legacy of warriors through every reign. With battle cries we forge our fate, in fields of valor we elevate. As shadows loom, our spirits gleam. Brothers in arms, we are the dream. Fearless, we take the night, with courage found in every breath. We'll fight like lions, defy our name.